So, 4-0. Man City dominating, as I think pretty much everyone would have expected out of that game. Yeah, it was obviously frustrating to lose by that margin, but then again, it could have been worse. There's no doubt it could have been worse, and I think that's the kind of thing we'll probably be looking to do against Arsenal and Liverpool, to try and nullify them as much as possible in our own 18-yard area. And it was, in the end, just quality shone through. It really did, and we weren't really able to show our quality when we got into the final third at all. The lineup was interesting, obviously, coming out, because in the end we find that Solanke and Zamora are injured, out of the squad completely. Zamora with COVID, so hopefully he'll be back relatively soon. Solanke, fingers crossed that's short term, because if it's long term, that's really bad for us. Really, really bad for us. Yeah, I'm hoping it's just a niggle. Parker's taken a precautionary measure and just said, no, we can't risk him if he's going to be running around for 90 minutes, so let's just keep him at home and let him rest and recuperate. Stacey on the left, as opposed to moving Smith over to the left, was an interesting call, considering Smith has played on the left side for us, and I think Stacey's maybe played a left back once for Bournemouth since he joined 3 or 4 years ago. So that was an interesting call, and he obviously got a yellow immediately going up one against Mahrez. Pretty unnecessary slide tackle, really. Gets the yellow and did well to not really get himself in too many bad situations later on, unlike Smith, who seemed to really want to get aggressive with Cancelo towards the end of the match. I think it was Cancelo, I'm pretty sure it would have been. And Grealish, to be fair. I think he threw him to the ground at one point. First goal was just one of those moments that I think Haaland's going to produce throughout the season. He held off Lerma, kind of held off Nepham as well, slid it through to Gundogan, who put it in the back of the net quite nicely. Travers had pulled off a save against against Foden earlier on quite nicely. But now he's not just the only one you've got to worry about. Haaland you can nullify to a point, but you can't completely stop him. He's just too much of a monster. And Lerma did well against him in the match, I think, but couldn't completely stop him. And I think that the setup for Bournemouth was very much to try and prevent as much space in behind as possible, which Haaland feeds on. And really, Haaland got, I think, one half decent chance in the middle of the box in the second half. But in the first half, we mostly completely kept him to tight angles. He tried that lob over Travers towards the end of the first half, but that was about as best as it got for him. And that was our plan, I think, to nullify that space in the behind, drop really deep and force them to take shots from range or play it intricately. And they did produce a really nice intricate bit of play for the first goal. I think Rodri produces the run from deep before the pass to Haaland that someone should have taken him out, and that would have been the way to stop that one. And then the second and third goals are us trying to push forward and get a goal, and we get caught on the counter. Second one, I can look at Kelly a bit and say, why didn't you get closer to Kevin De Bruyne? To be fair, De Bruyne's finish is pretty outstanding. Outside of the foot, starts outside the post and curls in, and no keeper in the world stopping it. But you can prevent the shot if you get closer to the man and stop him from taking the shot in the first place. And then the third one is Ryan Christie. Don't know what it is, that maybe he just doesn't have the confidence. Did he never have the quality in the first place? I think that's harsh. But basic pass to Stacey, misses him, they counter and score. And we were a little bit unlucky for the third goal, and I think Travers, in terms of De Bruyne, shoots, goes under one player, goes under the second, but takes the flick off Kelly as the second man, and sort of bounces up, and Travers is caught a bit unawares, and it squirms past him. I think Travers is just going to be disappointed that he didn't prevent that one from going in. And then that was 3, and we produced one shot on target in the first half. I think it was Christie, a layoff from Moore. And it was sort of balls up top to Moore that was our outlet, as it was pretty much always going to be. I think maybe needed Tav and Christie to get closer to him when we know the ball was going up. When the ball's on the right hand side, when it's with Smith and Mepham, you need Christie to come much closer to Moore to get those knockdowns. Trav needs to provide an option that's short. Tavernier needs to provide an option that's shorter. So when it goes to Moore, he needs Christie closer to him, and I don't think he did that enough. And similarly, vice versa. If the ball's with Kelly or Stacey as it was on the left today, you need the right attacking mid to pull closer to the striker to provide that support option. And I don't think we did that enough. I think the defence did relatively well. I think Lerma obviously swapped with Mepham in the middle because you wanted Lerma to deal better with... You feel Lerma's got the strength to deal better with Haaland, even if Haaland was able to brush off almost all three defenders at once if he wanted to. Mepham was okay. I think Kelly obviously made a mistake for the second goal, but I think they were all decent. I don't think any player really, apart from maybe Christie, I think probably could have done more, particularly on a couple of counter-attacks, was far too negative. Christie's the only one that can look, I think I can look at anyone and say you could have done a lot better. Pretty much everyone else was good to decent. Tavernier, I think, shone again. His dribbling, his press resistance, keeping hold of the ball, getting us up the pitch is really impressive. And as much as he could have played left wing back tonight, you can see just in his general play and his ability to keep hold of the ball and his dribbling that you need him as a more attacking option. You need him further up the pitch. That is the model. I think there will obviously be things to improve on. And I think when Senesi comes into the middle, his passing looked very nice. Just his first pass, I think it was pretty much his first pass, was a lovely ball out of the press to find. It was probably Adam Smith, a right wing back, which is just mid-range pass, very comfortable. Love to see that. So looking forward to him probably starting against Arsenal. And I mean, that kind of play I think will be roughly what we'll be looking for against Arsenal. Just obviously trying to keep as solid as we possibly can in defence, stay very deep, force them to try and break us down, and then just use more as an outlet to get forward and then maybe catch them on the counter now and again. It's not going to happen very often. We are going to be forced to defend very deep for long periods against the better sides.